and we're on Yutesamid Beis. Also, b'maimar, the achakach noled lo ach. So first Shimon gave a maimar to Sora Eshes Ruvain, and then Levi was born. Oh, nolad shenoled lo ach the achakach also b'maimar. That we did. And Yosef Ramanasha bar Zvid Kamei de Rav Huna. Yosef v'Ka'omar, my time of the Rav Shimon. Why was Rav Shimon matir Sarah to Levi after Shimon was miyabim and Shimon died? And Rav Huna responded, what kind of question is it, my time of the Rav Shimon? Kida Ka'omar Taima hoil uba umatzo beheter lo omda olav shah achas b'isa. When Levi was born, Rachel was already Eshes Shimon, and that replaces the Zika to Ruvain. And now she's got a Zika from Shimon, and Levi is Haya Bolamo Bolomachas. And therefore, there was never an Isser of Eshes Achiv Shel Haya Bolamo on Levi from the time he was born. Because we have a principle called Kol Yevamot She'ena Nikori Ba B'Shas Nefil Yevam Yavoleh Asura Olav Le'olamis. But here, there was no Eina Nikori Ba. Elo my time of the Rabbanan. Menashe says, what really I meant to ask you, what are the Rabbanan hold? They say that there's an Isra on Levi, even in the case of Yibem L'Sof Nolad, which means that as far as Levi is concerned, Miyomov lo omda lefanov kshiadayin tachas zikas richon mibayla rishon. So she never had a zika from Reuven. So why should the death of Shimon not project Sarah for Yibum to Levi? And the Gemara answers that the reason for the Chacham is the Yom Kra. Also says in the Parsha of Yibum, ulekacha lo leisha v'yivma. And we're going to derive from that even after Shimon was miyabim her, adayin yibum rishonim olel. So the Zika of Reuven exists even after Shimon was miyabim Eshes Reuven. And therefore it's considered kol she'ena nikori ba b'shas Nefila Yevama Yavoleh Yasura Yavam Zeliolam. Even after there's an Nefila Shnia with the death of Shimon, because Adayin Ani Koriba Yibum Rishonim Oleh. So the Gemara says, Ella Hadisnan. We have a Mishnah later on Daf Lamed Ches. Knasa, after he was kones his Yevamot, arehi ki ishta l'chol davar. She's a full-fledged married woman. There's no need for chalitza or anything like that. So why don't we assume that the Zika of the original Yavam is still chal even after the marriage and the yibum of the second brother of the Shimon to Rachel, and now Rachel will still need a chalitza in addition to a get if she wants to get out of her marriage to Shimon. The Omer Rabbi Yossi Bar Chanina Melamed, this teaches us, and here we turn to Daf Chaf Amud Aleph, Shaliachar Sheyibma Harei Megarsha Beget. There's no need for chalitza. If he wants to break up his marriage after Shimon was miyabim Eshes Reuven, no need for chalitza because the original zika to our first baal was paka. And if the yavam wants to remarry her after he divorced her, machzira. We're not going to say that after he divorces her, she goes back to her original Isur of Eshesach, the first brother, the late brother, Reuven. Once he's miyabima, ki ishto l'chol dov. There's no Israel's ach at all. So the Gemara says, now I have my kasha, hasam, nami, lema. Why don't we say the same logic? V'yivma, adayin yibumim harishonim oleh. We say that the zikas yibum continues even after the yibum of the second brother. Is tiboy chalitza? She should require chalitza. The Gemara answers, shiny hasam. In the case of a yavam who is megarish yivimto, Omar kol kacholo lisha. He married her. He made her into his wife. Kevan shalakacha nases ki ishto l'chol davar, and therefore there's no need for chalitza. See hachi hachanami here too. In the case of yibem ulabesof nolad, why don't we apply the same yardstick? And even after yibum to Shimon, she's still, although ishto l'chol davar, she's ishto l'chol davar, and therefore the zika is batel from the mess, from the original brother of Reuven, and therefore now Levi should be able to be matir, mutter to be miyabim her. She's Eshes Shimon and only Eshes Shimon. And the Gemara answers kasav achmana the yibma, which tells me that she's asural Levi shalohaya bolamo, based on under the shadow of the zika of her first husband. So the Gemara asks Mara Isa, why do you choose to darshan v'lakcha to be matir holishuk with a get from the yavam after zibum without chalitza, and to darshan v'yib, and then you could really, and then darshan v'yibma to prohibit her on Levi, who's born after the yibum of Shimon, B'Torah Zikas Ruvain and Eshes Achar Shaloi B'Olamo. Why don't you switch it around? Why don't you take the word v'lakcha and teach you that she's muteres to the achanola, to Levi? Because the original zika is batal, and the Yibma is going to teach you that adayin yeshal has zika linyan chalitza, and she needs a chalitza. It's not enough that she gets a get from the yavam. The Gemara says, mistabra shadi hetera v'shadi isura isura. It's most logical. The darshan, the heter of naseis ki ishtal chol davar, which is derived from v'lakcha, on an Eshes ach who's muteres lo leave, and to be matar to shuk without chalitza after gerushin. But the Isser of Adayin Yibumim Rishonim Aleh, which is derived from the Yibma, it's more logical to darshan an Eshes Achim Shalai Balamo, and the Torah prohibits Eshes Achim Shalai Balamo, and we're going to ask her even if there was Yibum and then there was Laban. So the Gemara now goes back to clarify Rabbi Shimon, Rabbi Shimon Diyomar, Hol Uba Umatza Beheter, V'lo Omdo Lov Shachas Be'isur. Therefore she's muteres lo, and the first brother who was not Ba'olamo, does not generate an Isur, Elameata, Achoso Me'imo. Let's say Sarah is a sister to Shimon from the mother. They are maternal sister and brother. And that's one of the tests of the 15 arayas listed at the beginning of Masechet, that potros pturos min achalisim na'im. Shenisa'ah Ruvain shu achiv mi aviv. And now Ruvain marries the sister of Shimon, the half sister of Shimon, because Ruvain and Shimon are only brothers for a paternal brother's common father. The achkach nolad ach, and now Shimon was born. Umeis, and Reuven dies without children. So again, let's go over the case. Second. So here we have, he gives different names here. Moshe marries Rachel, and they have a child, a daughter named Sarah. Yaakov marries Leah, and they have a child named Reuven. Reuven marries Sarah. Base Moshe. V'nisa Rachel Yaakov. So after the death of Moshe, Yaakov, who had married Leah and had a child named Reuven, now he marries Rachel, the widow of Moshe, the Yodelah Shimon. So Shimon is a brother to Reuven Me'aviv. They both have the same father, Yaakov. And he is the sister to Sarah from Rachel, because Rachel is the common mother to both Shimon and Sarah. Now Reuven dies without children. Sarah falls to Shimon, her brother for Yibum. And according to you, then Sarah should be Misyabim to her brother Shimon, because from the time that Shimon was born, she was already Nesua to Reuven, and therefore Matzah beheter Yibum. And that should be Mafkia, the heter of this heter should be Mafkia, the Isser of Achoso. Is to Siamim whole Matzah heter. When Shimon is born, she's already Nesua to Reuven. So Gemara answers, what are you talking about? Yibum is not matir anything more than the Isser Eshesah, but the Isser Achoso, the Hechan Ozel, how does it disappear? It's Kaim V'Yomed, even after her Yibum. There's no din that Yibum could be matir the Isser of Achoso. But Hacha, Gemara now insists on asking the Kasha, the Yibum situation where Levi was born afterwards, Nami, why don't we say the same thing? Namely, that the din of the Yavam of Shimon is not matir for Levi, other than the Isser of Eishes Ach, as far as the Koach of Shimon is concerned. But the Isser Ach from Reuven, Shalohai Ba'olam Lechan Azel, where it says, Hi Isur de Leslei Atera, Hi Isur de Leslei Atera. In the case of the Yavam, we don't have a heter, the Isra Chosa. But here, in terms of the Isra Veshasach, we have a heter of Yibum. Therefore, Al Yidei Shal Levi Mekayim Bodin Yibum Shal Achiv Shimon Nita Logam Isra Veshasach Shal Ruvain. The Alpha Pisha Ein Lo Din Yibum Al Ruvain. Mikomoko Meachav Shimon Hutar Isra Veshasach B'Misas Ruvain Af Levi Hu Nita. And this leads us to the Mishnah on Daf Chaf Amud Aleph. Let me take this opportunity to wish you all a good job.